School of Management Studies, IGNOU presents an audiobook on the course Mmpc 006 Marketing Management for MBA program. Block 1 Introduction to Marketing and Markets. Unit 3 Market Segmentation, Targeting and Positioning. Part 2.
Segmenting industrial or organizational markets. Segmenting industrial markets is as similar to segmenting consumer markets with similar and comparable variables. Segmenting markets on the basis of end-use participation is essentially benefit segmentation. A demographic basis is geographical location, while a behavioral basis is the way the company buys. As knowledge of industrial customers advances, segmentation can take account of the buying criteria, technical, economic, and commercial, etc., as applied to the selection of suppliers. Certainly, when the customers are large buyers with very diverse demands, each of them may be viewed as distinct segments to be approached individually by tailored strategies. In particular, there are three commonly used bases. First, type of customer. Second, size of customer. And third, type of buying situation. First, type of customer segmentation. A common way to segment industrial markets is by end users application. For example, a pump manufacturing company can segment its potential market by type of customer such as automobiles, electrical appliances, government departments, etc. Second, customer size segmentation. Many companies set up separate systems for dealing with major and minor customers based on quantum and value of business transactions. For example, a company which manufactures office furniture may divide its customers into two groups as major accounts and minor accounts. Accounts of large and reputed companies come under major accounts. Such accounts are handled by national account managers working with district field managers. Smaller accounts are categorized as dealer accounts. These accounts are handled by the field personnel working with authorized dealers who sell companies' products. Third, type of buying situation segmentation. In organizational markets, there are three types of buying situations: new buy, modified rebuy, and straight rebuy. These buying situations are different from each other in a significant way. An industrial seller can segment his market on the basis of buying situations and adopt marketing strategies accordingly. Market targeting. In previous sections, we have discussed the various bases on which consumers can be clustered into homogeneous market segments. However, all segments need not necessarily qualify as target markets. A target market is defined as a set of buyers sharing common needs or characteristics that the company decides to serve. It is very important to select the target market to develop a suitable marketing strategy. Every marketing strategy involves marketing expenditure, and the return on a market program can only be identified if we are able to know the target market for which the marketing program is targeted. Hence, an understanding of the target market and measurement of their attractiveness is a key decision in marketing. The next challenge for the marketer is to select one or more segments to target with right blend of marketing mix elements. Both general factors which one uses to evaluate any economic opportunity and the factors specific to the situation should be considered in evaluating segment options against these criteria. General factors. The following are some important general factors that one should consider judiciously. Company thrust. While segmenting the market, the firm needs to identify the requirements for success in the identified target market. Next, it must determine what particular business system consisting of marketing, production, finance, personnel, etc. will be needed to meet the requirements for success in that segment. As far as possible, The firm's thrust should be such that it gives the company a key advantage in that segment. Size and growth potential. In addition to the present size of the target market, the firm should also ascertain the future growth potential of the said target market. The current market demand by itself may prove misleading. The measurement might also create its own problems. Investment needed. Financial outlay required for tapping a particular target market is another factor to consider, and care should be taken to ensure that both entry costs and costs associated with building market share have been included. Profitability. The question of profitability is associated with investment decision. To calculate it, we have to estimate both future sales and costs involved in the concerned segment. Besides, it is necessary to also consider the value added to the product that is to be targeted in that target segment, for a low value added product makes profitability more hazardous. Risk. Risk is unavoidable in business. The usual risks associated with the extent to which a particular target market would respond. But these are not the only ones. Other risks, like the new product taking away part of the market share from the existing products of the company in that target market, need also be considered and monitored. Competition. The selection of target market also implies indirectly selecting the competitors with whom the company will compete. Another important point to note in this context is that segment may be large but may already be served by several well-established competitors. The question naturally would be whether one would like to enter such a segment, would be weighed in terms of cost-benefit analysis, and then take a decision. Specific segmentation factors. The specific segmentation factors that you need to consider are as follows. First, segment durability. Remember, segments based on fads and fashions are of a short duration, that is, their life cycles are ephemeral, and your plans to tap such segments must take this into account. Besides, you can't think of making substantial investments in such ventures from the long-term point of view. Second, mobility. Mobility means the movement in and out of a segment of members of a target group. If the mobility rate of target group members is high in respect of a certain product, say hair oils, the company, in order to keep its sales stable, would have to attract new users to its product. Third, visibility. Visibility refers to the extent to which the want of a target market or segment is distinctive. If what is sought by the members of that segment is perceived as very different from what is sought in other segments, then the segment loyalty will be greater, but those in other segments may regard that offering as very different and something which is not meant for them. Highly visible segments, however, are likely to be more stable than other segments of a market. Fourth, accessibility. Those in the segment or the target market should be directly reachable through established communications and distribution channels. If that particular segment cannot be reached, then the entire exercise of market segmentation will be futile. For evaluating segment options on the basis of these factors, please remember that you will have to weigh these factors in the context of your specific situation. Evaluation and selection of market segments. Based on the criteria discussed above, the marketers make the assessment of the overall attractiveness of different market segments. The segments' overall attractiveness should be evaluated from the viewpoint of a company's objectives and resources. The segments should also match the company's competencies and its vision. Further, the segments will be evaluated based on their key parameters such as size, growth, profitability, and scale of economies. After analyzing different segments, the company will select one or many segments to serve. For example, a group of hotels can choose families as its target market, or business executives as its target market, or female travelers as its target market or international travelers as its target market. Single segment concentration. Through this approach, the firm wants to gain a thorough understanding of the needs of the segment to achieve a powerful market presence. For example, when Nirma washing powder was launched, it was targeted at the low-income segment. Woodland Worldwide, the company that owns and markets the Canadian brand, started offering 10 footwear styles in India for 13 years olds. The company, instead of offering normal sports shoes, tried to address the specific requirements of adolescents for skateboarding, surfing, rappelling, mountain biking, and rafting. Selective specialization. In this case, the firm selects a subset of all the possible segments which are attractive and suitable. This strategy has the merit of diversifying the firm's risk. The disadvantage of this approach is that it may not result in any positive synergy. However, a firm can try to achieve some positive synergy in the case of the other two approaches of product specialization and market specialization. Product specialization. In product specialization, the company sells a particular product to different customer groups. A laptop manufacturer, for example, sells to individual customers, government, educational institutions, and software companies. The main disadvantage in this approach is that the over-dependence on a singular type of product may lead to its replacement by totally new technology. We all know how typewriters and fixed phones were affected by new technologies. Market specialization. In this approach, the firm attempts to focus on satisfying the varied needs of a specific target. For instance, a pharmaceutical company can sell an assortment of products meant for surgeons in hospitals. Over-dependence on a particular customer group implies business risk in this approach. Full market coverage. Many large firms attempt to serve all customer groups by offering different products. For example, Hindustan Unilever offers many brands of bathing soaps to cater for the needs of different customer groups. The same is the case with Maruti Suzuki with its range of models in the car market. Large companies try to cover an entire market in two ways. First, two ways: through undifferentiated or differentiated marketing. In undifferentiated marketing, also known as mass marketing, the marketer ignores the differences among the segments and targets the entire market with a single offer. In other words, the firm develops a marketing program for a single product and attempts to sell to the largest numbers of customers through mass production, mass distribution, and mass promotion. During the initial phase, Hindustan Lever Limited had offered Surf for the whole market. Hindustan Motors and Premier Padmini also had offered undifferentiated marketing for many years by offering Ambassador and Fiat cars respectively. The argument in favor of mass marketing is that it leads to low costs in view of the scale of economies. However, in differentiated marketing, the company sells different products to all the different segments of the market. As discussed, HUL has been following this approach in the case of the bathing soap market by offering different brands to cater for the needs of different customer groups. Though this approach increases the costs, several companies prefer it because it would lead to a generation of large total sales, which in turn leads to the attainment of market leadership in terms of market share. Market positioning. Once the market has been segmented and attractive segments have been identified, the next task is to work within a targeted segment to position the product offering in the minds of the consumers for adoption and derive customer satisfaction. We shall discuss the importance of developing a product and brand positioning. Product positioning. Product positioning is the creation of a clear image in the minds of consumers within the targeted segment about the nature of the product and the benefits to be gained from purchasing the product. Positioning is the complement of segmentation. That is, segmentation identifies those segments of the population that will act similarly and develops products to meet each segment's needs, whereas positioning conveys information about their products back to the segments for which they are appropriate. It is the position in the perceptual space of the consumer's mind that the product takes in relation to competitors' products, which is often verbalized by customers on certain attributes. Product positioning depends on market structure, competitive position of the firm, and the concept of substitution and competition among products. According to A. L. Rees and Jack Trott, positioning is the act of designing a company's offering and image to occupy a distinctive place in the minds of the target market. Positioning is what you do to the mind of the prospect. You position the product in the prospect's mind. Therefore, product positioning should be assessed by measuring consumers' or organizational bias perceptions and preference for the product in relation to its competitors. Brand positioning involves implanting the brand's unique benefits and differences in customers' mind. Requirements and importance of positioning. There is a high decibel of marketing communication aimed at consumers of today. They are exposed to various level and type of communication through multiple media like newspaper, television, radio, internet, and unconventional media like fairs, festivals, exhibitions, events, and outdoor media. But the ability of the consumer to evaluate the information and remember all of them is limited by two factors. The consumer at a particular point of time pursues one consumption goal which makes other information redundant for him. Secondly, the ability of the consumer to process all the information is limited due to high level of distortion and poor retention rate in consumers' memory box. As a result, consumers are overloaded with information in marketplace, but consumers' intention and ability to process this information is limited. Thus, to simplify the buying process and reduce the mental tension, consumers group information about competing products and evaluate them on the perceptual attributes depending on perceived quality to create distinct position in their mind. Why positioning is important? The following points emphasizes the importance of positioning. First, a company's product cannot be everything to everyone. Product differentiation would lead to the possibility of positioning. Second, positioning serves as the bridge connecting the company's offer with the target market. Third, positioning shows the way in which the 4 P's of market mix is to be planned and blended in the firm's offering. Fourth, effective positioning helps the marketer and the customer as well. It clarifies the essence of a brand and identifies the goals to be achieved by a customer. Fifth, brand communication or promotion becomes more effective because the marketers take into account the consumer insights while deciding upon a positioning strategy. Developing the positioning strategy. Now let us discuss the tasks to be handled in brand positioning. Successful positioning depends on how efficiently a marketer is handling the following tasks in an integrated way. How to lodge the brand in the customer's mind. The firms in any fiercely competitive market struggle for securing a position in the perceptual space of the customer's mind and also in retaining it. This involves the industry and competitive analysis. Without having an in-depth analysis of the structure of the industry, nature of competition, which is the dominant players and their strengths and limitations, it would not be possible to locate possible positioning opportunities. Analysis of competitive positioning. Marketers should study the positioning of competitive brands using product attributes that are important for their target segments. This would enable them to analyze whether the competitor's actual position is different from the buyer's ideal position. In this connection, the company's marketing research efforts play an important role in determining customers' ideal positioning. Specifically, the analysis of the positioning of competitive offerings requires the following tasks. First, competitive frame of reference. It involves identifying the brands which should be the focus of competitive analysis. Competition can be examined from the viewpoints of an industry and a market. An industry is a group of firms offering products that are close substitutes. Industries can be classified according to the number of sellers and buyers, degree of product differentiation, barriers of entry and exit, cost structure, and impact of globalization. In the market approach, competitors are defined as firms that satisfy the same or similar customer needs. It should be remembered that the company should not suffer from marketing myopia and avoid confining to competitors in the traditional category. For example, BSNL focused on fixed or landline phones and missed seeing the market for mobile phones. Second, analyzing competitors. The company should analyze the strengths and weaknesses of each of the competitors. It should also understand the objectives and strategies of its competitors. Other factors like history, size, present management, and financial position will also play an important role in competitive analysis. Third, points of difference and points of parity. After determining the competitive frame of reference by clearly understanding the nature of competition therein, the marketers try to define the suitable points of difference, PODs, and points of parity, POPs, associations. Any benefit or attribute associated with a brand can serve as a POD as long as the customers are convinced about it. Brands having PODs are Zomato, Uber, Maruti Swift, and Honda Activa are a few examples of PODs. Take any successful brand, you will certainly find a strong and unique association of customer groups with such brands. On the other hand, POPs may not be unique to the brand, however, such attributes or benefits may be shared with other brands. Here is a classic example of POPs. Dettol, the antiseptic lotion of Ricket Benser, is a well-known brand. The main attributes of Dettol are the strong smell, the liquid turning cloudy when poured on water, and the stinging sensation when the liquid touches the wound. When Savlon was introduced in the market, it had to counter the perception of the customers. So Savlon was positioned and advertised as the product of superior efficacy and stress the no sting attribute of the brand as the key differentiator. Fourth, multiple frames of reference. When a company is facing competitive brands, then it may choose the most important set of competitors to serve as the competitive frame. It may not be easy to enter such a fiercely competitive market unless the company finds a segment through a unique positioning strategy based on a USP, where the existing competitors are underperforming. An example of P&G's Ariel. Procter & Gamble entered the Indian detergent market with its brand Ariel in 1991 at a time when the detergent space was highly competitive with the strong presence of Nirma, Surf, Rin, and Wheel. With its unique positioning strategy, the new Ariel earned the image of a brand that can remove the most dirtiest and stubborn stains with every wash. Ariel brands emerged as the most preferred detergent, which was launched with a combination of enzymes and bleach without damaging clothes. With the increase in the usage of washing machines, P&G started offering many innovative brands like bleach-free chemicals, fragrance detergents, and increasing brightness, etc. Some of the top Ariel variants launched include Ariel Matic Front Load, Ariel Matic Top Load, and Ariel 24 Hours Fresh. In 2020, Ariel 3-in-1 PODs were launched in India, which is pre-dosed washing capsules filled with concentrated liquid detergent. Ariel's positioning strategy is broadly based on the premise that clothes are like mementos for the users, so it is vital to preserving them. Alternatively, in case there are many competitors in different categories or subcategories, the company can develop the positioning platform under each category. However, all brand differences are not worthwhile for positioning and they do not necessarily carry same meaning to the consumers. The distinction should satisfy the following criteria. Distinctiveness. Company can offer better than the competitors. Superior. The difference is superior to other ways that the customers might obtain the same benefit. Profitable. The marketer can introduce the difference with a profit. Preemptive. Competitors cannot imitate the difference easily. Affordable. Buyers can afford to pay for the difference. Communicable. The difference should be communicable and visible to the buyer. Important. The difference delivers is highly values benefits to target buyers. Deciding the positioning theme. Some of the themes on which a brand's positioning can be based are positioning against the competitor, positioning on the customer's desire, positioning on product's performance, and positioning on price. Positioning against competitor's product. Both implicit and explicit positioning strategies are used against rival products. For example, attribute comparison shown by cars which highlight their own features without naming their competitor's name is an example of implicit positioning. In the explicit positioning, the product is positioned by comparing its superior features with other products. Positioning on product's benefits. In this positioning strategy, the marketer highlights the benefits of the product to the consumer. For example, herbal skin care products focus on natural ingredients used with no side effects and skin-friendly, etc. Positioning on price. Positioning strategy on the basis of pricing a brand tends to be one of the cheapest in the market. For example, supermarket chains often have their private label brands with low price in comparison to other branded products. However, positioning a product based on its luxury is different from positioning based on price. Luxury brands highlight prestige or quality associated with products than price, ensuring competitive advantage. The company should build the required differentiators that will support the positioning. Only a well-equipped company has the capacity to provide differentiators. Successful differentiation and positioning centers on the competitive advantage that has been created by a firm over a period of time. Competitive advantage is a company's ability to perform in one or more ways that competitors cannot or will not match. Practically, only a few companies enjoy sustainable competitive advantages. Let's look at some of the key dimensions through which the companies try to differentiate their offerings. Better trained employees of a company have the capacity to offer superior customer service. This is especially true in the case of services businesses such as hospital, restaurants, and banks. Such differentiation is called employee differentiation. Today, many companies are using distribution channels to differentiate their products or services distinct from those of their competitors. Eureka Forbes is a popular example in this regard. The company achieved differentiated positioning and competitive advantage through its direct-to-home channel in respect of its vacuum cleaners and water purifiers. Through digital technology, nowadays, many marketers created new segments by making buying easier, enjoyable, and rewarding. Instances of Zomato, Uber, and Practo apps for food delivery, transportation, and medical doctors, respectively, highly visible and successful too. Communicating to target customers. Promotion or marketing communication plays an important role in the effective positioning of a brand, but positioning should not be considered synonymous with promotion. Promotion shoulders the responsibility of taking the positioning to the target market in a convincing and creative way. Sometimes, the customers may perceive the product in a way different from what is intended by the marketer. Even a successful positioned product must have been repositioned at a later stage of the product life cycle due to new challenges to be faced by it. However, it is not easy to reposition a wrongly positioned product. Brands require continuous monitoring throughout their life cycle. Positioning is not a task to be left to the advertising agency. It is in fact a core activity of strategic marketing. That is how market segmentation, targeting, and positioning get interlinked as discussed earlier. Determining the effectiveness of positioning. Practically, it is not easy to know whether your company has a good positioning strategy. However, marketers are interested to know whether the strategy yielded the desired results in terms of sales, market share, profit contribution, customer satisfaction, and other outcomes related to competitive advantage. As discussed, companies normally do not like to change their positioning strategies frequently. At the same time, they should be ready to make adjustments at different stages of the product life cycle depending on the challenges posed and opportunities offered by the environment. Therefore, a brand's positioning strategy should be evaluated on a regular basis in the light of changing nature of competitors, their strategies, and shifting customer preferences. The company should avoid committing the following positioning errors. First, under-positioning. If customers have only vague ideas about the company and its products and do not perceive anything distinctive about them. Over-positioning. When customers have too narrow an understanding of the company, product, or brand. For example, buyers think that Apple technologies only come out with expensive products, whereas Apple has a range of products at different prices. Third, confused positioning. It is characterized by frequent changes and contradictory messages confuse customers regarding the positioning of the brand. Fourth, doubtful positioning. When the claims made by the product or brand are not regarded as credible by the customer. Market repositioning. Any discussion on the positioning is not complete without a mention of repositioning. The marketers can go for repositioning due to two reasons. That is, the failure of the current positioning strategy due to the positioning mistakes like under-positioning, over-positioning, and confused or doubtful positioning paves way for another positioning opportunity due to evolution of the customers on value life cycle or emergence of new technology to redefine the structure of competition. For example, India Post, the public sector giant, has been enjoying enormous market dominance in the Indian logistical market. This organization wanted to break the stereotypical image of being a usual government organization. They improved their public image through the positioning strategy, which involves a new tagline of giving wings to your dreams to convey a strong message to the Indian public. Repositioning will follow the same process like that of positioning as discussed with suitable modifications on the selection of competitive advantage in the new context. Summary. We started this unit by defining the market segmentation. A market segment was explained to mean a homogeneous group consisting of buyers who seek the same offering. Market as a set and a segment as a subset is the basis on which the process of segmentation is carried out. The output of a segmentation analysis is therefore, first, a profile of our customer target group, focusing on those details that will best help us develop product, promotional, pricing, and distribution strategies. Second, the set of benefits sought so we can build our offering to match the configuration of benefits sought and then select benefits in our offering that will constitute a critical advantage to act as the buying inducement. Subsequently, we discussed basis for segmentation principally on the basis of benefit, demographic including social and family life cycle, and psychographic, that is, lifestyle including personality variables. The other basis, that is, usage rate with focus on heavy uses, brand loyalty, and generation were also explained. Basis for industrial or organizational segmentation were also discussed. It was further emphasized that the firm should consider certain criteria to determine how far the segments are effective. Factors, both general and specific for evaluating segment options, were explained. Such an evaluation should be made from the viewpoint of a company's objectives, resources, and competencies. The market segments should also be evaluated based on their key parameters. The company can choose from the following approaches: single segment concentration, selective specialization, product specialization, market specialization, and full market coverage. Through undifferentiated or differentiated marketing, companies try to cover an entire market. Finally, the concept of positioning was discussed. Positioning serves as the bridge connecting the company's offer and image to occupy a distinctive place in the minds of the target market.
We were listening to the audiobook by the School of Management Studies IGNOU for MBA program, course code Mmpc 006, Marketing Management. Course Coordinator Professor T.B. Vijay Kumar, School of Management Studies IGNOU. Edited by Savita. Program assisted by Tarannum Jahan and Jagbandhu Jana. Program produced by Dr. Manoj Kumar Singh. This program was brought to you by Electronic Media Production Center of Indira Gandhi National Open University.